Greetings. I was in the States today. I picked these up sort of as a hint of what I'm planning on doing tomorrow. We had Canada Day. So before anybody says anything, Canada Day, we kind of had a celebration because, you know, it's free agent day. And I posted the fireworks. And there's no point in me really talking about the greatest Canadians ever because majority of NHLers in history have been Canadian. So tomorrow I want to do a video where I focus on Americans and American place in hockey in terms of players. So I picked up the new hockey news. This is going to be on newsstands until August. So the thing that gets me is under it says, history's made. They said it couldn't be done. They were wrong. Who are they? At the start of the playoffs, I stuck with my initial prediction, which was Washington, because I'm not very bright. And, you know, I secretly was going, but Pittsburgh's likely going to win it. And there really isn't any arguing with the fact that Pittsburgh is, right now, as a back-to-back team, they're the best team that the league has seen in 20 years. Because they won twice in a row. And then they have the top 10 defining moments of 2017. The interesting thing is, so they have an awards in here. And they have a Rod Langway Award for Best Defensive Defenseman. And they gave it to Ryan Suter. And they say Suter only played 26.55 a night this season, his lowest mark since joining the Wild in 12-13. He's an absolute horse. Regularly matched against opposing teams' toughest players. Big reason why Minnesota ranked among the NHL's stingiest teams. He wore down, though, during the season. But interestingly enough, the runners-up, they said Jacob Slavin was number 2. I'm very glad to see Slavin gets some love here, because Slavin got better as the season went along. And he's a very good defenseman, and if you're like, Jacob who? Watch Carolina this year. Matthias Ekholm, Victor Hedman, and Shea Weber get the runners-up. Top penalty killer, they gave that to Patrice Bergeron. Runners-up, Zdeno Chara, John Gibson of Anaheim, Victor Arvidsson, Nashville, and Ryan Kessler in Anaheim. I'd probably put Kessler higher up than that. And people know how much I love Kessler, but as a penalty killer, the guy's awesome. He really is. Breakout player, they gave it to David Pastrnak, which is weird because last summer I did my top 5 breakout players and I talked about certain players. And everybody kept saying, what about Pastrnak? And I said, well, we all know Pastrnak can hit 30 goals, and he would have hit 30 goals the year before, but he got injured. So, runners-up, they said, are Granlund, Michael Granlund, not Marcus. Marcus, though, could have been in this if he didn't play in Vancouver. Marcus had a very good season. Leon Draisaitl, number 3. I don't know if I put him behind Granlund, but okay. Victor Arvidsson, 4, and Nikita Kucherov, 5. Again, I don't know that Kucherov broke through as much as we knew what he could do, and he just added to it. Toughest player in the league, the Bob Probert Award, is the Cam Neely Awards for breakout player. Guy Carbonneau's for top penalty killer. Toughest player, Dustin Byfuglien. Okay, runners-up, Mark Borowiecki's number 2. He's the guy without a face in Ottawa. It's weird. There's just look at Borowiecki and I'm like, is it Plato? Wayne Simmons 3rd, Zdeno Chara 4th, Ryan Reeves 5th. I don't know if Chara's that tough anymore, but he's huge. So just by the fact that he's massive, if he's angry, he sends guys flying. Best rookie, of course, they gave it to Matthews. That's the Team of Solani Award. Runners-up, Lane, Werenski, Matt Murray, Mitch Marner. No surprises there. Most valuable player, Wayne Gretzky Award. They gave it to McDavid, followed by Carlson, followed by Crosby, followed by Bobrovsky, followed by Burns. So Matthews nowhere to be found in their top 5, which is fine. Best player, number 1, they've got Connor McDavid. Number 2, Sidney Crosby. 3, Erik Karlsson. 4, Sergei Bobrovsky. 5, Brent Burns. And I know there's a lot of subscribers to this channel who argued with me when I said Connor McDavid's the best player in the league. You guys are going to have to write the Hockey News some mail too, because they gave him the most valuable player and best player. After an injury-shortened rookie campaign, McDavid fulfilled his massive promise as a sophomore. His 100 points were 11 more than any other player. He joined Gretzky, Howardchuk, Lemieux, Carson, and Crosby as the only ones to start a season as a teenager and reach 100 points. Jimmy Carson being in that list is so weird. Jimmy Carson came in like he was fantastic, and then he was done. It was like overnight he went from 100 points to, is he still in the league? No? All right. Erik Karlsson got Best Defenseman, the Bobby Orr Award. Runners-up, Brent Burns, Victor Hedman, Drew Doughty, and Roman Josi. So, yeah, all 5 of those were on my top 10 list. So, phew. All right, good. Best goalie, the Patrick Roy Award, Sergei Bobrovsky. Runners-up, Braden Holtby, Devin Dubnyk, Carey Price is number 4, and Cam Talbot, they had at 5th, which is fine. Everybody gets mad because I had Talbot at 2, but, like, it's an opinion thing. It's so weird. It's not like there's anybody anywhere going, well, we're arguing that Talbot should get $10 million because look where the hockey guy had him. No. Comeback Award. The Saku Koivu Comeback Award. Eric Stahl. Can't argue with that. Number 2, Sergei Bobrovsky. 3, Sam Gagner, so a pair of Blue Jackets back-to-back. 4, Peter Budaj. And 5, Radim Verbata. Best GM. They gave that to David Poile in Nashville. That's the Sam Pollock Award. Number 2, Rutherford in Pittsburgh. 3, Brian McClellan in Washington. They're not going to give it to him based on this summer so far. Number 4, Peter Chiarelli in Edmonton, and Lou Lamoriello is 5th in Toronto. That's fair. Rutherford in Pittsburgh doesn't get enough credit for what he did this past season as he does the season before. It's like, okay, you won your first cup. In the second cup, they're like, yeah, that's easy. And it's not. Best Coach Award, they gave it to Mike Babcock in Toronto. Runners-up, number 2, John Tortorella. 3, Guy Boucher in Ottawa. Todd McClellan in Edmonton's 4th. And Bruce Boudreau is 5th in Minnesota. And those are all the awards. And they said that the most defining moments this season, number 1, Penguins win Stanley Cup. Number 2, Austin Matthews scores 4 goals in his NHL debut. And I did videos when that happened, and I was amazed. And I had people saying, it's just one game. Don't get all excited. Don't buy into the hype. He ended up scoring 40. He was a pretty good rookie. 3, Connor McDavid wins his first scoring title. 4, Detroit's 25-season playoff streak ends. 5, Vegas Golden Knights get a name and logo. 6, Nathan MacKinnon sends Team North America into hysterics. I'd forgot all about that until I read it here, so I wouldn't put that there. 7, Erik Karlsson makes the pass. And again, just Erik Karlsson's entire postseason for me was a moment. Number 8, Columbus and Minnesota collide during win streaks. Yeah, that was a big moment, I guess. Mildly forgettable. It's not something we're going to be talking about 2 or 3 years from now. 9, Jaromir Jagr passes Mark Messier in all-time points. Something tells me that's a bigger deal than Columbus and Minnesota facing off in their winning streaks. Something tells me that 20 years from now we're going to be talking about Jagr being number 2 on the score sheets, or the all-time scoring sheet, and that not talking about Columbus and Minnesota. Like, oh, remember that game? It was awesome. Number 10, PK Subban returns to Montreal, and they've got a picture of him with a tear streaking down his face. Subban definitely loved playing in Montreal. There were a lot of mitigating circumstances behind him leaving. Sort of like the mitigating circumstances I've been reading today about why Trotz is out in Arizona. I can't share them with the channel, but wow. So anyways, yeah, I can't, again, I can't. I kind of wish I could, but there's always stuff that comes up. I'm always amazed at hockey's gossip and at hockey's legends, urban legends and stories. They always have a way of coming out. So I'm sure that eventually, just by the salacious nature of things, certain rumors that go around end up coming out. Certain ones don't. But yeah, so it's one of those things. So I had a good day. We were in the States all day. We got our marriage license. We're all set to go with that. I've been asked about whether or not we're going to stream the wedding live. It'll be recorded and posted on the channel. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm not gonna monetize my wedding, and I don't intend to live stream the wedding. But yeah, it's kind of cool and amazing and awesome all at the same time. So today was a good day, and thank you guys very much for all the sharing and all the retweets and all the stuff that's been going on lately. I'm absolutely mind blown with how much this channel has grown in the last 2-3 weeks. It's just awesome. So we're well over 8,000 subscribers. If you're new and you're American, tune in tomorrow for some July 4th festivities. I may even be talked into live streaming tomorrow. I know we're going to do like road trip stuff starting tomorrow as well. So we're not going to go into the States because border crossings on the 4th are not going to happen. But I may do a video about American players before I go, because it is easy for those of us in Canada to forget, without the American money and without the American cities, the NHL as it exists right now doesn't exist. So without all that American money and those American cities, you're not going to have as many players wanting to play pro hockey. You're still going to have pro hockey teams in Canada, but it's not going to be very competitive. It's not going to be very good, and it's just not going to be what it is. So thank you guys very much for watching. I'll go through this magazine some more. I've thought about trying to find some parallels between the Penguins' back-to-backs and Detroit's back-to-backs. And for me, Detroit's were more impressive. That's just me. I think Detroit was a better team than Pittsburgh. But again, you're comparing apples to oranges. They're two different generations of players. So it's all personal preference. It's all conjecture. So my reasons for picking Pittsburgh or picking Detroit could be just as reasonable as somebody else's reasons for picking Pittsburgh, and vice versa. Let me know what you guys think. I'd like to like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. Sorry I messed up a little bit there with my words, but I'm going to leave it in anyways because that's just the way I do my videos. Yeah, I'll be talking to you guys again soon. I hope everybody had a fun weekend and a fun Monday. And the week is just beginning. We are getting perilously close to the end of free agency in terms of all the big names, and getting into which teams are better and which teams are worse. And I'll be able to get into that probably by the end of this week. I think the rest of the big names come off the board. I think Radulov coming off is going to cause others to come off. Like Kuznetsov as an RFA coming off is going to cause other RFAs to have a starting point, and teams to say, okay, here's market, or say we agree market's high in Washington and we're going to bring it down here. Something's going to give somewhere. So I'll be here. I'll be keeping track of that. And thank you guys for being out there and following what I do. Makes it all worthwhile. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. And until then, just enjoy summer.